If you've ever been in a relationship where you've been the more consistent, reliable, and even better looking partner, and instead of appreciating it, she pulls back, that's not an accident. Women don't like feeling like the weaker partner and want to break down why. A lot of women are just flat out intimidated by men that they think look better and also just show up better in relationships. And that goes across the spectrum, whether a woman is considered average looks or a woman is really attractive. And the more attractive she gets, and the more she feels that a man is competition to her in terms of looks, she's actually going to have resentment towards that man. Although initially there will be attraction, eventually she's going to then pull back because that same attention that she receives, you also receive. And anyone knows an attractive man doesn't really have to chase a woman. So while she wants you to put in the same effort that a man who is not as attractive, let's say he's very average, and for that man, she is the most attractive woman he will ever be with. So what does he do? He then overcompensates and he gives her more than enough attention. And because of that man, she thinks that every other man should also do the same. When she comes across an attractive man, a man that doesn't have to do that because he too gets attention, she is threatened by that. She doesn't like that. She wants to be on that pedestal at all times. And the moment that you also are being placed on a pedestal next to her in some category, eventually it's not going to be good for the relationship. That's just how it works with a lot of attractive men and successful men. Typically, the partners they get aren't women that are able to, in a lot of ways, take the supporting role. These are women that want to be the main character. And as a man, especially an attractive, successful man, you have to find a woman that's going to play her position really well. Because if not, you're just going to get a partner that's going to implode. And a lot of times, she's going to sabotage a relationship. These are women that also, too, they're going to take you for granted. They're not going to be appreciative. They're going to allow you to feel as if you owe them something. And you're looking at the situation like we're both coming to this relationship genetically matched. Monetarily, it's either matched or you might be doing better. So it's a question of what do you really owe her? Because you don't owe her anything, she's not going to like that. She's going to want to feel as if there is something you owe her. So you have to understand, as an attractive, successful man, it's going to be a difficult struggle in dating. Not in terms of hooking up with women. You're going to do that very easily. But women are going to be attracted to you, but they're not going to be able to feel safe because you just don't flower them with a lot of attention. Now, granted, there is ways to work around that in terms of being able to make sure that you do validate a woman and you do make sure that she feels seen. But nonetheless, there's nothing you can do about her just being a silent hater because you two look good. You as well get attention when you go out. People compliment you, people compliment her. It's a dynamic that a lot of women aren't really able to handle. Very few women are secure enough to be with an attractive, successful man. Like, you don't really see a lot of Savannah James, right? Savannah James is with, for those of you who aren't familiar with basketball, LeBron James was the greatest player to play basketball, at least the greatest player that's currently in the league. And Savannah is a phenomenal wife in the sense of not only she's beautiful, attractive, successful, but she never takes away from LeBron's light. LeBron gets to shine in his glory. And as attractive as Savannah is, and as much as I'm sure she has going on, you never really see her take away from LeBron's spotlight. She just goes there and she just adds on to what LeBron has. But then you have the Aisha Curry complex. Always doing a podcast interview talking about Steph Curry in a non-uplifting way. There's no reason why she should ever be downing Steph Curry. But once again, this is a woman that is just unable to handle an attractive, successful partner. She wanted to be the spotlight. She thought he was going to be the gym teacher, and she would have been the pretty wife that the gym teacher gets to come home to, and he is just honored to spend the rest of his life with. That is what most women want. They want you to be that average man that is honored to be with this goddess. She wants to be that pillar. She wants you to build a statue and to honor that statue. She wants to be that golden calf. But the moment she meets a man that is also getting praise, that is also secure within himself, and don't let you also know you look good, or she really hates that. A woman hates a man that knows he looks good. And you're in shape. I'm telling you guys, even myself, for instance, there has been situations where women have tested me and they wanted me to chase them more. Everything's going great. Nothing's wrong. Communication is consistent. And she'll just not reply whatever's going on in life. But then she expected me to follow up multiple times. I'll give you a prime example. I had a girl I met. We had an amazing first 3 dates. Everything went well. We were talking consistently. And there came a point in time where she's supposed to FaceTime me. And she was a girl I was talking to. I don't recommend it, but she was from out of town. I met her in LA, but she was from out of town. Nonetheless, we're staying in contact, as she was from out of town. And she was supposed to FaceTime me 1 week, and she didn't FaceTime me, so we made the agreement. I'm the type of guy as well, too. If a girl gives me her word is bond, it's set in stone. Once we made that plan, I'm going to hold you to it. If you don't stick to that plan, I'm not about to chase you up about that. So she didn't call me. I said, okay, cool. I'm not going to send additional texts. We came to terms that, we're supposed to talk. So now a few months goes by. She then texts me and said, hey, I was thinking about you. And funny enough, I actually was thinking about the girl the day before. So I was like, hey, I was actually thinking about you too. So I was like, hey, but we do need to talk. So we get on the phone and, she's telling me, life was going on. And so things are happening. But she said something very specific. She said, and at first I acknowledged even after she said this, she said that she know that she was supposed to call me back, but she was surprised I didn't reach back out to her. And I said, reach back out to you for what? Because what is there to discuss? We agreed that you were going to call me. So for me to then go out and contact you again after you didn't keep your word, that's a lack of self-respect. That's not me respecting myself. What is that? That's a woman that is now with an attractive man that gets attention, that this is not the only girl that's on my line. If she's not calling me, there's other women that are trying to contact me. I don't have to go and chase down this woman that isn't communicating with me. And what is she used to, or what does she prefer? She wants the man that's going to be right there chasing her even when she's in the wrong. And that's what a lot of women end up having to deal with, because they want a man that's going to chase them even when they're in the wrong. And attractive, successful men, they don't do that. They move on to the next thing, or they just mind their business because you're not trying to get thrown off track. And a lot of women, they don't want a man that's going to be centered. They want a man that when she's feeling some kind of way, he leaves his pillar to go appease her. But that's just not the reality of a successful, attractive man. You are structured. You are rooted in yourself. And that intimidates a lot of women. From the outside looking in, they think they like it. They appeal to it. It looks good. But it actually takes to maintain it's a lot. It's like wanting to own a Ferrari. A Ferrari looks nice, but the maintenance fee is high. So for a lot of women, that's what they're looking at in an attractive man. That attractive man is like a Ferrari. It looks good, but she knows that she can't afford to maintain that car. So in a lot of ways, she feels some kind of way about that car. Then it's like, oh, it's an overpriced car. It's too expensive. That's what it comes down to when you're dating as a successful, attractive man. You have to get used to that. So even as you're filtering women, and that even goes for no matter the looks of the woman. So if you're dealing with a woman that's average looks, she's even more intimidated than a woman that's attractive. And the woman that's attractive, she's still intimidated. So nonetheless, there's no point of you even dealing with a mid woman, because she's going to be just as intimidated as the attractive woman. So just find a woman that is secure. You need a secure woman that is also successful. She has her own adventures. She has her own pillars, her own life. She has everything going on for her, and she feels confident, secure about that. But a woman that is not sure about herself, or she needs a man that's going to just have to give her this unwavering amount of attention, she's trying to fill a void. It's never going to work. I'm telling you right now, it's never going to work. You see women all the time even mention they never really want a man that's too attractive. There'll be someone that says he has too good of a body, he has too good of a face. There's even some women that say a man is too successful, he's too rich, he's too famous. Women say that all the time. I don't want a man that's getting too much attention. I don't want to compete against them. That's the reality of it. So successful, attractive men, you have to realize, yes, you get a lot of attention from women, but the reason why the retention isn't high is because a lot of women are intimidated. They themselves don't have the psychology to date a successful man. They got the looks, and they're ready to go on the vacations, they're ready to go on the nice dates. When it comes to actually being able to reciprocate the same value that attractive man is giving her, it's going to be frustration because then it's like, she's like, you're too perfect. You already look good. Now you reply well, you call her back, you don't start arguments. Because most women, when they're dating men, they've been used to a Build-A-Bear project, man they can fix. So when you're the man that there is nothing she can really edit, she's going to be mad. She's actually upset that she can't fix you some kind of way. Because that's where a lot of women get their worth and their value. It's just like a rich man that gets a poor woman that can't provide for himself. He feels fulfilled by that. His ego is fed by taking care of that woman. A lot of women, their egos are fed by taking care of a man and building him up, fixing him up. So when you're this attractive man that doesn't need anything, you're emotionally secure, you're financially secure, she's going to actually have a lot of friction about that. She's going to start little petty arguments. There's going to be moments where you're coming home with this great success and she's arguing with you about it. All because here's another moment where she's not getting attention. Her entire life, she's been a center. She's just probably the most attractive in her family. She was one of the most attractive individuals in her school, and her sports team, her clubs. Every area she's been to, she's been one of the most attractive people. But now she's meeting a man who's also been in the same space his entire life. It's hard for a lot of women to deal with that. And if you actually think about it, you don't see that many attractive couples. You don't really see that many super attractive couples. It's always a very attractive man with an average woman, or a very attractive woman with an average looking man, or even an unattractive man, or even the attractive man with an unattractive woman. You don't see it a lot. That dynamic, it's hard to work out. It's like the Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie complex. It just doesn't mesh very well. You would think, a man being revered as one of the most attractive and successful Hollywood actors, and a woman who's also one of the most attractive and successful Hollywood actresses. Now granted, I understand he was married before, but you would think the dynamic would blend well, but over time, it didn't unfold as such. Of course, there was a lot of other underlining issues that caused that relationship not to work out, but if you just sit back and think about it, there's not a lot of attractive couples that usually mesh. And that goes back to the competitive factor. It's a silent competition. A lot of women are in silent competition with men. They just don't know it. And even they don't think they're in competition, once they get with that man that is the superior partner, it then becomes competition. She didn't realize she wasn't ready for that type of man. That's why you're going to struggle. So even I always tell a lot of men, if you are the man that has it all, it's going to be even harder. Because now you have to find a woman that is rooted, she's secure. Like, think about a woman that's able to see you shine so bright, and she wants you to shine brighter. Believe it or not, there's not a lot of women that actually want to do that. She wants to be the one that's illuminating at the highest. So don't fret, don't be discouraged. Because there's even been moments I've gone to women dressed like this. I even know I look better than her. And she still turns me down. She doesn't give me the number. And there could be other reasons too. I might just not be her type, but there's really been moments where I even dealt with women where I'm kind of like, all right, come on now, let's be for real. Or even where you're hanging out with a girl, she's average looks, and she's giving you the hardest time. Like, the average looking girls always give you the hardest time. The good looking girls, sometimes, but for the most part, they're usually keeping it, it's usually pretty easy. You're not getting additional walls and barriers. The average looking girls and the unattractive girls, they're going to make you work harder, because even in their minds, they know that you get so much success in your day-to-day life. So they're like, you know what, I'm going to be his first barrier. I'm going to be his first challenge. So that's how some women approach attractive, successful men. Instead of approaching it as, you know what, he's doing well, let me help him do even better, it's going to be, how can I be his resistance? He succeeds so much. In their mind, they're saying, how can I be your downfall? I'm going to bring it in to your streak. Some women want to end your streak. You're going to deal with that. I've been on dates where women acknowledge later they don't want to say how attractive they think I am. But yet as men, we can go and say women are so beautiful, but women can't even acknowledge attractive men to the extent where they should. It's so taboo. Whereas men, we can acknowledge the beauty of a woman, but the woman can never acknowledge the beauty of a man. Because also think about it on a deeper level. Men, we don't have to invest a lot in our looks outside of waking up, washing, putting on some lotion, putting on some hair products for good. Or even attractive women, she still has to go and put on some makeup. And so it's one of those dynamics you have to realize that women think about these things. They feel insecure about these things. She doesn't want to feel like that. The moment you make a woman feel insecure, she's not going to like you. When you show up better in a relationship, you start to make her realize her shortcomings. She's not going to like you. A woman doesn't like a man that makes her look like a bad partner. Her whole life, she's been the princess. And you have to realize that. So when you show up in looks, when you show up in character and the relationship doesn't work out, you were overqualified. A lot of men are overqualified for the women they date, so they linger. There's no reason to be in those situations to begin with. You're dealing with a woman, you know that she's of average looks, she doesn't take care of herself that well, she's not doing well financially, but you're just still tolerating that. For what? You don't have to deal with that. And sometimes you're going to be with a woman where she's going to be everything. She is going to be the attractive woman, but because you're also the attractive man, she doesn't want to show up. She wants you to still chase her to an excessive extent. Because as a man, you can't chase and lead. You can't do the same thing. Either you're leading or you're chasing. When attractive men, a lot of women are never going to allow you to lead. They're going to want you to chase. They're not going to want to enter that relationship and to be confident in their own skin and to say, hey, I'm confident in my own, I can also elevate him. Because naturally, we as men, we don't struggle with elevating women, for the most part. Most men, we do that very well. We compliment them immediately. We give women their flowers. Not many women give men their flowers, and that is the reality of dating. And there's really nothing you can do about that, other than just go to these women, go through women. You have to go on a lot of dates. Some women even won't give you their number because they think you look too good for them. They don't want you to not turn them down. Someone would turn you down before you turn them down. You'll be thinking like, what? Like, what went wrong? You look too good. That's what went wrong. You were too good. There's nothing to be ashamed of when it comes to that. So if you're wondering why you're a successful man, you know, you made the 6 figures and above, you're taking care of yourself, you look good, you dress well, but it's still not working out. It's because you're overqualified. It's because you're just too much for her. Instead of lingering, you need to filter her out and move on to the next. And if you need help with dating psychology, you need help with the confidence to be reassured to do so, with the system that you can build so that you no longer have to even deal with these women. So at the moment she shows any sign of envy, you can step out of that situation, head to a better relationship. I want you to apply for Trust Fund Baddies Academy.